What's going on, Tar Heel Nation? Nathan and Alan here. We are your Heel Brothers, and we're getting ready for a nice Halloween matchup this Friday night as the North Carolina Tar Heels take a trip up to Syracuse to take on the Syracuse Orange. Alan, how you feeling today? It's almost Halloween, bro.
Well, I'm feeling good. Freshly off of some vacation action.
Yeah, dude. You missed all last week, man. Jeff had to fill in for you.
Somebody's got to pick up my slack. That's a lot of slack to pick up. So I appreciate salute Jeff for hanging in there. You and Tori came through with like the clutchest watch party ever, like a little over 11,000. That's how big it was. I can't even get it out of my mouth. Over 11,000 concurrent.
Alan, just stop.
I just
dude.
need to stop. It's just too exciting. It's crazy.
We need to get into the tail of the tape here for this game, and before we do, I want to talk about today's sponsor. And Alan, I've allowed you to do this today, and I'm a little worried for you. But brother, I'm gonna go ahead and let you just take one big breath. Let's do it together. Let's do one big breath. One, two.
Man, let's talk about the sponsor, K-Bar Soap. Now, we know you're not the kind of man who likes to use soap shaped like flowers, right? Well, that's good, because K-Bar Soap makes hard-charging, all-natural, grenade-shaped bars built to blast the filth off your day. No chemicals, no shortcuts, no BS. These soaps scrub like a wire brush and smell like victory. With scents like napalm in the AM and whiskey and bad decisions, this definitely isn't your teenager's body wash. It's a shower with pure freedom. Handmade by a U.S. Marine. Ditch the bar. Grab a grenade today. Use code HB15 at checkout for 15% off your purchase, and let Chris know that the Hill Brothers sent you his way. K-Bar Soap Co.
That soap in your shower. Let's get into the tail of the tape. The 2-5 North Carolina Tar Heels are taking a trip up to Syracuse to take on the 3-5 Syracuse Orange. It's going to be the 8th meeting between North Carolina and Syracuse. UNC leads the all-time series 4-3, with the most recent win being in 2023 for the North Carolina Tar Heels, as they won 40-7, as they were led by Drake May and the crew. 7:30 p.m. on Halloween this Friday night. Make sure and tune in on Friday night for the Tar Heel game day, 6:15 to 7:15 p.m. It's going to be Halloween. We have to do a little bit of Halloween theme there. And then also tune in for the watch party starting at 7:20 as we go through the duration of the game. Syracuse is led by head coach Fran Brown. He is in his second year with the Syracuse Orange. His head coaching record is 13-8. In his first season with the Orange, he led this team to a 10-3 record, getting a win in the Holiday Bowl. Syracuse is favored 1.5 in this game to open up with. They are currently a 68.3% favorite per ESPN matchup predictor. The leading passer now, he is no longer the quarterback currently right now, which is very unfortunate because he looks like he is going to be he was a pretty legit quarterback for him. But per the statistics there, the leading passer for the Syracuse Orange is Steve Angeli. He has 1,317 yards. Unfortunate to lose him the way that they did in the Clemson game earlier on in the season. 4 games ago, in their first 4 games, they were 3-1, and the last win being against Clemson when they went up into Death Valley, and they just handled business up there. And Unfortunately, in that game, he did tear his Achilles, and he's going to be out obviously for the rest of the season. Standing in his place, and we'll go with him as their quarterback, and we'll give his full stats, is the quarterback Ricky Collins. He is a transfer from LSU that came in this past season. He is thrown for 957 yards, 6 touchdowns, and has 8 interceptions on the season. That's in 4 games. Four, and then a little bit of the Clemson game there. And his QBR is currently 30.8, which is the 132nd worst in the country. Not too good there. Rushing leader for the Syracuse Orange are Yazin Willis. I think I'm saying that name right. Hopefully I'm not butchering that. He is a 6'1", 235-pound sophomore running back with 101 carries for 429 yards, 4 touchdowns, averaging 4.2 yards per carry. The receiving leader for the Syracuse Orange are John Tay Cook. He is a 6', 198-pound junior receiver. 39 receptions for 501 yards, 2 touchdowns, averaging 12.8 yards per catch. Sacks leader is actually tied with our sacks leader, credited with 5 sacks on the season. It is Kevin Jobity Jr. He is a 6'4", 300-pound defensive lineman. He is a senior. He is credited with 12 solo tackles and 5 sacks on the season. Big boy coming through the D-line right there. Tackles leader is linebacker Gary Bryant III. He is a 6'1", 228-pound junior. He is credited with 25 solo tackles, but has been credited with a total of 43 tackles on the season. North Carolina is led by head coach Bill Belichick. This has not been the best season for him, but the team has shown little improvements throughout the season. We talk about and we joke about development all the time on this channel, but surely enough, this team has been showing a little bit more promise each and every week. Passing leader for the North Carolina Tar Heels is quarterback Gio Lopez, who's a 6', 203-pound sophomore quarterback, 805 yards with 4 touchdowns, 5 interceptions, and a QBR of 34.1, which is 125th in the country. Devon June is the leading rusher. He is a 5'11", 215 true freshman running back out of Jacksonville, North Carolina. He has 51 carries for 315 yards, 1 touchdown, averaging 6.2 yards per carry. Jordan Shipp is your leading receiver. He's a 6'2", 190-pound sophomore. He has 29 receptions for 320 yards, 2 touchdowns, averaging 11 yards per catch. Mel Cart, who is fresh off of an amazing game against Virginia. Melkar Abujade is a 6'5", 260-pound junior who has been credited with 5 sacks and is your sacks leader currently right now for the Tar Heels, credited with 14 tackles as well. Kamari House is your tackles leader, who has been credited with 41 total tackles. He is a 6', 215 sophomore and is credited with 23 solo tackles. Alan, we got ourselves a game on a Friday night that before the season, we thought was going to look a lot different than the game I think that we're getting ready to see. 2 teams that are fairly similar in some aspects. Obviously, when they lost Steve Angeli over there for Syracuse, the quarterback, their season changed dramatically, and you can see that they were 3-1 in their first 4. The first game being Tennessee. Tennessee got into a big lead, but Syracuse really showed a pulse later on in that game, really started to find themselves and made it somewhat of a game there at the end. Was able to beat Colgate and UConn. Then they go to Clemson and handle business, and they just looked like they were ready to be the team that I think a few people really thought that they would be. I had high hopes. I'm a big Fran Brown fan. I like what he's doing over there, the energy, the effort. But when they lose their quarterback, everything's kind of falling apart for them. Alan, what do you think this game's going to look like? Obviously, we see North Carolina. The defense looks like they're up to par, had the best game by far against Virginia. who is a very high-powered offense. That team was averaging 40 coming into the season, 40 against AACC, mind you, and sure enough, they were able to hold them ultimately to 17 points. So, what do you expect to see in this game between these two teams? How do you think this one's going to go?
I mean, these two teams are really similar on paper right now. I mean, it's amazing what a quarterback can do for your team and what a quarterback, how a quarterback can hurt your team
Mhm.
all at the same time. And that's speaking for both Syracuse and North Carolina at this point.
Right.
Man, it's going to be interesting. It's going to be an interesting game. You know, if Syracuse can't throw the ball and they're going to and they have to go attempt to try to run on North Carolina. I mean, North Carolina's run defense statistically is 25th in the country, only giving up 110 yards a game. So, if that's the case, I like our chances on the defensive side. Maybe the defense can give us like 14 points, and or we take a punt return to the house, or something crazy happens.
No.
Give North Carolina, a chance to win this football game, because I really think North Carolina needs to win a football game just to, show proof of concept. I mean, this Syracuse team's really, really struggling ever since that Clemson game.
Big
And
time.
the defense, Syracuse defense. I mean, you see a defense like this as an offense, you're really licking your chops. Like you can't wait to play this type of defense. They're giving up like 443 yards a game, 32 points per game. Second to last in the ACC in total defense. Giving up an average of 174 rushing yards per game. That's it's like 5.5 yards per carry. The opposing team's offense is scoring 93% of the time in the red zone. So if North Carolina can get it into the red zone, that's a good chance that they're going to score. Especially with that, what looks like Syracuse really struggling to stop the run. So man, it's going to be an interesting game on a Halloween night. I don't think I've ever watched a football game on Halloween night. So I mean, it's going to be an interesting go.
You bring out a couple of stats, a couple of things I want to bring out for you to look at here and just think about for people that are listening. Both teams are struggling right now on third down. Syracuse ranks 114th in the FBS, converting 35.1% of the time. Carolina ranks 127th, converting on 32.6 of their third downs. Now, the Syracuse stats is considering the first 4 games as well, which are the games with Steve Angeli, which is why I believe that their offense is still ranked. Their offense is still ranked 62nd in the FBS. I think a lot of that has to do with how they move the ball in the first 4 games, and you're trying to find that balance there. North Carolina's offense has been very much the same throughout the season.
They've sucked all season. You can say it. Just go ahead and say it.
Syracuse is 123rd in the FBS with a -7 turnover margin. North Carolina ranks 116th in the FBS in red zone offense, scoring 72.6%, 76.2% of trips. Syracuse's red zone defense ranks 108th at 90.3, like you were saying. It is amazing to see at how if North Carolina came in with a competent offense, this should be a game you kind of breeze through, because what Syracuse and North Carolina had the same exact issue, and I think we're starting to see that. We're starting to see the results of it, because I feel like the offense is sustaining better drives over the last couple of games against Cal and then against Virginia last week, but Syracuse is very much in a problem state where North Carolina was earlier on in the season, where like they couldn't sustain drives at all. It was 3 and out, 3 and out, 3 and out. So your defense gets left out there, throughout the game, and they just get worn down. And I think that's where this team is. So to me, I've got a defensive battle. I think North Carolina's offense is going to be enough because they're showing the offensive line is doing better in run blocking, which is good. You need that. If they can just keep themselves, like Austin Blasky having 2 holding penalties last week, if they can keep themselves from being penalized big time on the offensive line, I have a feeling that North Carolina can go win this game. And I think that personally, I think that they should, considering they look like they are more competent of an offense than Syracuse is. Ricky Collins has played 4.25 games for them. And actually, honestly, you could just say 4 because he got benched halfway through the last game against Pitt. But they're not going to play when they put in their true freshman quarterback, and he's not going to be in because he's played 3 or 4 games already, which means he would have to burn his red shirt, and they don't want to do that with him. So Ricky Collins is going to be out there. That dude's thrown 8 picks already in the season, 130th. It ain't been good for him. So, I think Carolina should go win this game personally, and I'm going to pick Carolina to win 17-14.
Yeah, golly,
It's tough.
that's a good That's a good number because I mean that's a good number. I mean that's a good number, but I mean at the same time, North Carolina didn't even put up 17 points in regulation against Virginia, and that I don't know.
I'll say that I think Virginia is just a better team. I mean, clearly.
Yeah, I
Couple of missed opportunities, bad calls by the refs too, kind of helped in some of that. Not negating the bad plays and everything, of course, but I think Carolina could have definitely had. They left some points on the board there.
and I think North Carolina has the chance to lose some points on the board this Friday. I mean, all all signs point to North Carolina being able to win this game. Golly, but I just don't know if North Carolina's going to be able to go out and win it. They haven't showed the ability to win a game. They haven't won a Power Four game. Last Saturday was the first time they've been competitive in a Power Four game. Well, I'll take that back. I guess you can say they were competitive. They were competitive at Cal. I apologize, UNC. Yep, you guys were competitive at Cal too. Um, so yeah, okay. I'll say North Carolina wins. Actually, I'm gonna say North Carolina loses 13-10.
Got you down. All right, I'm marking it down. Allen's got him 13-10 loss to Syracuse on a Halloween night. It's gonna be an interesting game, man. I'm really looking forward to it.
I got no faith in Gio, just none.
I'm with you there, but I feel like the running backs have been doing really good, and I feel like with how the coaching staff, whether it be Belichick, whether it be Freddie, he's consistently rotating these running backs out. So the defenses are having to see fresh backs who all of them have shown the ability to find the hole and be able to be explosive getting through there. And I feel like with that, they're going to be able to really attack and maybe try and take the ball out of Gio's hands some. We will
You'd have
see.
thought they'd have did that against Virginia.
And they very much did, and there was just a couple of throws that, like especially the one throw with Gio that ended up being a pick where he stared down. I think it was Shenard Clower for the longest time after Andrew Simpson got the pick and threw it into double coverage, and it got popped up and for an interception. But so I feel like with North Carolina in this game, I think they're going to have enough to be able to go take care of business. I hope that they show me even more in that, they're able to move the ball in some interesting ways that we haven't seen yet. So Belichick talked about this week how they have to go score points. He says, yeah, we can sustain drives. That's all good and grand, but we got to go score points. So let's see if they come up with some ways to be able to go score points. And that's going to be huge for Carolina in this game. But we want to know what you guys think down there in the comments below. Be sure, come check us out on this Friday night, 6:15 to 7:15 p.m. is going to be our live Tar Heel game day, live on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter, and also still live on those same platforms. We'll jump right into the live watch party. Myself, I think it's actually just going to be me this week on the live watch party with you guys. Should be a really fun time. I'm really looking forward to seeing what this game's going to be like for us, and we'll go through this thing together. Thank you all for watching. Thank you all for being here, and as always, go Heels.
Go Heels.